Pastor Mark here. You know, we have this Give Hope campaign going on, and our desire is to leverage the stimulus money for those who don't need it. It's not a necessity to do really good things in our community, in our city, and around the globe. And we're hoping to leverage that money to bring hope and to continue our value of church planting, the biblical mandate to plant churches. And we are connected to church planting in Ireland as a whole church. And in Ireland, there's a big need that has been affected by this whole quarantine. This is a story of Samuel Chestnut in Ireland and the work that they're doing and the hope that we want to give them through the stimulus check.
Hello, my name is Samuel and I send you the warmest of Irish greetings from across the Atlantic. And you might be asking, why is there a bald Irishman being broadcast into my home as part of my church service? Well, I'm delighted to tell you that a number of years ago, in the providence of God, He brought together Mark South, your pastor, and myself, knit our hearts together. And for a while now, we've been talking about ministry and ways to work together. And I'm delighted to say that your eldership and your leadership have talked about a partnership of working together. And I'm delighted, I'm over the moon. And so I'm here this morning to tell you a little bit about who I am, what I do, and what part you could play in that. So this partnership, Edengate, is a travel company that exists to facilitate and support church planting across Ireland. I discovered a statistic about 7 years ago that said this, that the Republic of Ireland had an evangelical population of below 0.5%, making it one of the least reached English-speaking country in the world. Now, I'm from the north of Ireland, just over the border in the north, and it has an evangelical population of one of the highest concentrations in the world, making it one of the most reached English-speaking countries in the world, right next door to the least. And I initially thought this was a joke. This cannot be right, but it was true. So what do? Well, we decided to start a travel company that would raise awareness of that fact and sort of maximize the flow of missionally minded Americans who are coming from the US into Ireland and saying, listen, if you want to know about what's happening on the ground in Ireland, come with us. And so the company was set up to facilitate that flow of tourism. We give the Americans leprechauns, we give them ferries, beautiful scenery, Guinness stew, lots of scenery that people would be expecting. But the added value is that we give them the historical story of Christianity in Ireland and plug them into the current church planting efforts. But there's more. As I traveled around, I sought out that 0.5% in the Republic of Ireland. I said, where are they? Where are these guys on the ground working for the Lord? I sought them out, found them, and started a conversation with them. And I discovered this, they were all facing the same struggles. So I said to them, listen, would you consider coming together and having a conversation with your counterpart just in the other county across the way who you haven't met yet, who's doing the same thing in a different denomination or a different network? And they agreed. We got together 2 years ago and the Irish Gospel Partnership was established at that point. So what's it about? It exists to basically have a collaborative national attempt, a joined up attempt to reach the entire island for Christ. No competitions, they share buildings, they share resources, they share training, and it's going really well. But there's more. On top of that, we found many business people, American and US, who wanted to support and help the effort. Now, I personally believe as a businessman, the most important thing, the bottom line is that Christ is worthy of worshippers. And the way He gathers those worshippers is through the establishment of His church, through the proclamation of the gospel. So that has to be the tip of the spear. So I was thinking, how could we use our business in such a way to maximize church planting? And so we birthed a charity called Patrons International. Matthew 16:18 says this, I will build my church. He doesn't say I'll build my youth project or my mercy project. Those things are important. They have their place and the church leads the charge with those. But the tip of the spear is the advancement of Christ's kingdom and building His church. So Edengate The Irish Gospel Partnership and Patrons International, as business and as charity, as ministry, work together to try and maximise planting in a national context in Ireland. But there's more. What has happened is that across Europe, people started getting wind of this. And so we travelled out to meet people in different countries. We've been to Italy, we've been to Israel, we've been to Ukraine, we're in the process of going to Norway, and having the same conversation with guys on the ground, using travel as the in, and off the back of that, building national gospel partnerships in each of those countries, and then bringing the Patrons International charity, the Christian business community, to bear on that. That is what I'm involved in, and what you and I, as a church family, will be partnering together to grow for the sake of the gospel. And then COVID-19 hit. Global, planet-wide panic and chaos. And the questions being asked, where is God in all of this? Well, can I just warm your hearts by reminding you of one of his names. His name is Emmanuel, God with us. Where is God? He is with us. Secondly, he is working. He is working in and through his church, his people, you and I together. He is using the church to step up, to step forward, and to step out, and to reach the people in our community, on our doorsteps. And that is, do you know what? It's never been more urgent. The gospel message has never been more urgent. There are people dying prematurely. And so the call on the church, backed by the Christian business community within the church, to step up together, that need has never been greater. Do you know what? Mark told me to talk about our partnership with Benefit. At the moment, I don't know what our partnership will look like. I had a few ideas in my head, but we need to get to know each other. And as we pray into that partnership, let's trust God to see what could come of this gospel-hearted partnership together. I believe that travel, done rightly, can be an act of worship and can be used. I've seen it in Ireland and I'm seeing it in Europe. We can see it being used to redeem travel, to support church planning, to see the church grow across the globe, could it? And us partnering together in that, that's what I'm excited about. But you know what? Christ is bigger than travel. He's bigger than COVID-19. He is the King of the universe, and he is coming back. Let's work together in the ways that we can to make much of his name. Folks, thank you for taking the time to listen. I'm going to pray for you now, and I'm going to use Psalm 33 in that prayer. Here we go. Lord, you look down from heaven and you see all the children of man. From where you sit enthroned, you look out on all the inhabitants of the earth. You who fashion the hearts of them all and observe all their deeds. The king, the prime minister, the president is not saved by his great army or the economy. A warrior is not delivered by his great strength. The war horse is a false hope for salvation, and by its great might it cannot rescue. But behold, Lord, your eyes are on those who fear you, on those who hope in your steadfast love, that you may deliver their soul from death and keep them alive in famine and in global pandemic. Our soul waits for you, Lord. You are our help and our shield. For our heart is glad in you. Why? Because we trust in your holy name. Father, may your steadfast love, O Lord, be upon us, all of those in Living Stones Church, even as we hope in you. For your glory, for our joy, and for the advancement of your kingdom, we pray these things in your Son's name. Amen.